content we have for discussion for the next 20 to 25 minutes is legal journalism, and what is its present form, and how is it going to be like in the future, uh, perhaps in India and elsewhere in the world. We may not confine that to India because in the world, in the era of globalization and in the era of digital media and content, we may not speak about a particular jurisdiction alone, but we will focus on India. Yeah, we'll start with some very simple propositions, which I think we all would agree. But let's state the obvious. We have this, and we have a definition of what journalism is, because we are going to speak about legal journalism. So, journalist is an individual. I would start with this. Let's start with this proposition. Journalist is an individual who collects or gathers information in the form of text, audio, pictures, and processes it into a newsworthy form and disseminates into the public. So, journalist is somebody who collects information in different forms, which we all understand, right? And he or she will try to, he will be instrumental in disseminating that to the public. That is what journalism is all about. And this process of doing this and doing the above thing is called journalism. Let's start with this because we are concerned about legal journalism. Of course, it may not be having all the characteristics of journalism otherwise. But let's start with this general statement on journalism and journalism. Yeah, moving on to our extending our thinking to the area we are moving on to. This is legal journalism. I've got a picture which is symbolic. I think you will also agree with that. In that, there are a few more prepositions I would like to share with my esteemed audience over here. The first one is legal journalism refers to reporting of matters relating to law. Again, it's commonsensical. There is a saying that law is nothing but codified common sense, and this is a commonsensical statement about law itself and legal journalism. Legal journalism refers to reporting or journalism relating to law. We could say that. Now, we have another statement. When we say, let's think further, when we say matters relating to law, journalism relating to matters relating to law. What are the matters relating to law? Matters relating to lawmakers and lawmaking, matters relating to law enforcers and law enforcement, matters relating to law interpreters and law interpretation. So these are the matters of law. Any gathering of information and any processing of it and disseminating that in a newsworthy form about these matters can be considered as legal journalism in its wider sense. I hope I am making sense. Yeah. Now, to think further, legal journalism would involve as a process. If you look at that, as a process, it involves both journalism and the process of law and dealing with law, processing of law. It involves both. So these are some of the basic understanding. We all may have to agree for our further discussion on legal journalism. Let's move further. I would say, there are two forms of legal journalism. There is no very strict, formal, authoritative, classification of legal journalism into one or two forms. But just for the purpose of our discussion and to my sense, for the purpose of my communication to the audience here, I would say that legal journalism has two forms. The first one will be law reporting as such, which you and I would understand, but let's make it a formal and codify those understanding. Law reporting. Law reporting would be a first form of legal journalism. And in that, we have law reports, or working with law reports, or working for law reports. And second one is law journal. We'll make some sense of this. We'll just expand this a little bit as we move on. Now, the second one is reporting of legal matters. We will have to make sense of these two. So let's have these two in our mind, because our discussion will be divided into these two ideas. Legal journalism in the form of law reporting, which has got two subdivisions, I would say: law reports, working with law reports, and working for law reports, and law journals. That's one, and reporting of legal matters. Let's go to the first one. The first one will be the form one. I've made it a little formal and yeah, systematic. So first form of legal journalism could be law reporting. And law reporting would mean you are working with, because I understand this is an internship program, and the people here are mainly concerned with the content of the internship and the content they are going to gather for this. So here, if you are going to be an intern, or if you are taking this up as a profession, and if you are going for this form of legal journalism, you would be working for a law report. Now, obviously, the question is, what is a law report, which many of us would already know, but let's go for that also. And there is, at least for the purpose of our discussion, there can be a distinction for the purpose of understanding. There is another thing called law journals. Many a times these would be, no, these would overlap, and some of the publications could be hybrid. But let's understand these two processes, which is first form of legal journalism for our purpose. Now, moving on to the idea of law reporting. What is law reporting? Law reporting is the report of a decision ordinarily contains the title of the case. All those. What I'm saying is, you are reporting the judgment of a court. Put it simply, AAR could be an example. AAR is a private job and a private journal. Of course, it is an established one. SEC is another one, which is from Eastern India Book Company. So, what law report would say, what law report would contain, is the judgment. May not be judgment as it is, judgment in a readable form. How is it going to be like? The report of a decision, ordinarily it contains the title of the case, a statement of the facts giving rise to the litigation. That's what a judgment would usually contain. I'm speaking about the judgment. That's what we are going to report in a law report, if you're working with that, and its history in the courts. Or rather, if it has started with a trial court, and if it has come to the Supreme Court, and if you're reporting a Supreme Court decision as a part of your work in the law reporting company, then you are dealing with this. It then processes that and reproduces the opinion of the court, and concludes with the court judgment, affirming or reversing the judgment of the court below. Now, going further with this thought, and now I hope all of us have you all gone through a law, an original text of a judgment already. I would like to have some response to this. Uh, at least in chat box, like thumbs up, or at least thumbs down, or thumbs up, or thumbs down, if you have gone through that. Yeah, we know what a law report would contain. So here there are content creators for that. That's a job, and that there they collect information in the form of judgment. And please do understand, if you read some of judgments wherein there was a copyright issue, wherein Eastern India Book Company versus Modak, that's a case in which you could understand that the law reports won't report the judgment as it is, as they get it from what you call get it from the court. It's court. They add frills to it. They make it more readable. It will have head notes. It might have paragraph numbers. It will have other details like the people who are involved in that, judge's name and things like that, and the cases that are referred to, cases that are overruled. And they make it more valuable. They add value to it. So value addition is also done by the law reporters. So, in this process of collection and value addition, which we call as processing of that judgment, and that process happens in law reporting. So in India, of course, we have no, we have imbibed this from England. In England, it all started in 13th to 16th century, but at that time it was not a very standardized, systematic, authoritative process. But it was in the name of many people themselves, and it was private. It was not. Many times it was contradicting also, because the people who are publishing it, when they are different people, they had their own axe to grind, and so they made their own changes to it. So it was not in a standardized form, and there was no official law reporting at that point of time. But after that, from 1537, 37 onwards, I think the most of our law colleges, including Government Law College Thrissur, Government Law College Trivandrum and Ernakulam, has law reports, all England. All England reported starting from 1500s. I think they have that. Okay, so it all got formalized from these years, and we Indians imbibed from that. And if you look at the history of law reporting in India, the high courts have started doing it in 1860s. The high courts of Madras, at that point of time, it was Madras, Calcutta. Then you also have no, Bombay. All these have started reporting this in an official manner. Now, as of now, to speak more on this, you have both official, I mean, the government law reporting activity going on, and unofficial or private law reporting agencies. Or AAR, SEC, all those are some of the good examples of private law reports. And ILR. I think we all know the expansion of this. ILR is a government publication. And moving further, further about this, law reporting is mainly the act of providing information regarding judgments and orders of the court and other adjudicatory authorities. Mainly, law reports would contain judgments, value-added judgments, readability added judgments from different law journals, and law journalism would the working there would be part of the law journalism, and it forms basis of the precedent system. And another notable point with regard to law reporting and this part of legal journalism is that it is part of the precedent system which we all follow. Ours is a common law country. I don't want to expand more in that, wherein we have an hierarchy of courts, and we follow the system wherein the lower courts are bound by the judgments of the higher courts and the previous judgments of the higher courts. So that system is the hallmark of our legal system, and the hallmark of our legal system works on the pillar called law reporting. And if you're working with as a legal journalist, if you're working as a person of law reporting, a law reporting journalist, you are adding to this pillar of no precedent system. Because unless there is law reporting, the whole system of precedent won't work. As we don't have much time on that, I'll move on faster. And moving on further, the report of modern decision usually preceded by an analytical summary of the opinion called head note, which I've already mentioned, and that states the points decided. So usually, before you read a judgment, though it is not authoritative, you will find a head note attached to it. And in fact, I had an opportunity to work for almost a year as a content provider for a website wherein I read the judgment, I added a head note to that. So I went through that process. I went through that process of legal journalism. I've got some first-hand experience, some 23 years back to be very precise. Now, I've got picture of a judgment here, wherein you will be doing this. You can this is a famous judgment from Kerala High Court. Of course, you might know these two children, Bobbin and Molly. This is a decision with regard to that, and you can see that this is in this is a judgment of the High Court, and wherein you find that there is a head note added to this. I just wanted to show, or I wanted you to see that these kinds of parts are a case note kind of thing is added by a legal journalist. That's the kind of work you would be doing if you are a legal journalist. I've got the whole entire judgment. For the positive time, we'll go faster. And now, for let's move to the second part, the first way of law reporting. That is law journal work. Law journal work. Law reports. Law journal. What is that law journal all about? Law journal is law journal is something wherein you will find analytical articles, notes, comments, case reviews, etc. In a particular publication. I invite your attention to the screen wherein you find the cover page of Cochin University Law Review. This is just one of the examples. My best interest to have this as my example here is I myself as a student of Cochin University, as the person introduced me was putting that, and apart from that, I also have a publication in this long back, and I could also work as a student editor of this. So that way, I could closely associate with this work. So I've got some experience with this. So Cochin University Law Review is one of the journals wherein you find all this. We have Academy Law Review. We have very many Journal of Indian Law Institute. You have umpteen number of journals published from India and elsewhere. You have a law journal. You have Harvard Law Journal. You have very many other things. Usually a law journal, otherwise it might be called as a law review also. Law review or a law journal is a scholarly journal or publication that focuses on legal issues. So you have got other ones also, like NUJS is publishing one, ELSAR is publishing another, Aligarh Muslim University, AMU has another one, Indian Journal of Arbitration is another one. Most of these are from universities and law departments, but please note there are private law journals as well. And just an example to look at the content of what it would actually contain. The content of a law journal will have this. I've got the very old, content page of Journal of Indian Law Institute, GILI, a very prestigious one. It's of 1973, but let's have a look at that. It contains articles. I invite your attention to this. It contains articles. It contains notes and comments. It would have lengthy articles. It would have short articles. It will have reviews of books. It will have reviews of cases. Very many other things. This is just an example for that. And if you're part of a law journal, and if your law journalism work is being part of a law journal of this sort, what you would do is you will be instrumental in putting in place all this. Perhaps you will have to work to gather this from different people. You will have to be after them, and you may have to look at the footnoting style. Every journal has its own style, even the cover page, even the layout, even the footnoting style. There are very many things to look at. I had an opportunity to do this. So if you are a legal journalist of this sort, you will be working with these content. I think I'm making sense. So and please note of this, whatever examples I gave, mainly it were those were analog, but when if we are concerned about the future as well, so all the established analog law reports which you and I would know has moved to is getting transformed to digital now. Now they are in the hybrid mode of analog as well as digital. I think if not today, definitely tomorrow they are going to be more on digital. Some of them have already no, transformed as digital legal journals. Now, many of these, both reports and journals, have got a very many, digital versions. Like Westlaw is a very good example. LexisNexis is another very famous one. Of course, it has got Indian editions as well. Manupatra is an Indian one. You have Hain Online, you have JSTOR, you have SEC Online, you have AR, everything. You have Live Law, all those. And please note, some of these are hybrid in the sense that it has got content of law report, as I discussed. Just for the purpose of discussion, we discussed it as law report. It has got report of law judgments, and it was got content like articles also. So many of these would have both. Okay, so that way it has got digital thing also. So this is about the future, a little bit of future of this work. So with that, we conclude our discussion on the first part of legal journalism, that is law reports, working with law reports and working for law journals. The second one is, I would say, just for the purpose of discussion, though as I've already said, there is no authoritative classification like this. Reporting of legal matters. Here, you are concerned in you are reporting certain things which are related to law, but you may not be reporting a purely legal matter for legal people. Mainly, law reports and law journals are meant for people who are already in law, who are equipped with law, and they require precise legal information and analysis. But reporting of a legal matter will have a very different dimension. Here you are reporting a case from High Court or Supreme Court about intersex marriage. Here you are reporting it not for the purpose of the audience here. The people, the target audience would be ordinary people. That makes a lot of difference, and the organization for which you work, maybe a general, no, a TV channel, a newspaper house, or anything of that sort. Let's think further about this law reporting, reporting of legal matter. So it could be news from courts, any judgment it could be, or it could be granting of a bail or a granting of injunction of anything of that sort, or reporting of news from legislature, a new IPC is being replaced, or any matter that happens in a legislature, either in parliament or in a state legislature. It could be, or in a local body even, or it could be news from executive authorities having legal overtones, because executive authorities are the law enforcers. So there could be news items to be reported on based on certain legal actions of an executive, and there could be other news which will have legal implications. Like, you're reporting a case, and you're reporting about a victim of a rape victim, for example. So there are certain things to be kept in mind. So reporting of matter, legal matter, and matter which has got legal overtones. And to make some sense of this, if you look at newspapers like Hindu, they had a particular column in some of the at least at some point of time, they had a column wherein they had something like High Court roundup, wherein they will report the developments on that particular day from the High Court of Kerala or any other High Court. So that's a kind of legal journalism. That's a kind of legal journal itself, but the kind of the way in which you report would be different, because your target audience is ordinary people, non-law people. I've got some examples here, like the organizations with which you might work. If you are working, you are reporting of a legal matter. Even if you are a legal hand, you can work with these organizations with legal content, or at least you will be looking at the legal dimensions of the content they are reporting it. Either it could be a newspaper, or it could be a TV channel, or it could be it could be radio, it could be digital content agencies, it could be blogs, it could be live updates on internet, all those. and you could be part of a website also, wherein in fact I had an opportunity to work for the as a content provider and updater of legal website for quite some time. So the kind of thing we were doing was I was providing both legal content as well as law related content. So you will be working in this area. And moving further with some other thoughts, a macro level thought about legal journalism. Legal journalism is in a way it is a pillar of rule of law, because we know that ignorance of law is not not an excuse, but law to have a respect, which it should definitely have, and to have a proper system of law, which we can call as a legal system. We need to have awareness about law, and that awareness about law can be achieved in different ways. One of the main ways in which you would achieve is through this profession of legal journalism. Either you will be targeting the people who are concerned about law, the people who are directly involved with legal matters like judges, advocates, and lawmakers, and people like that, or the ordinary people for whom you would report legal matter. That way, a system of rule of law would be possible if there is proper legal journalism happening, and legal journalism could be instrumental in that. I don't say that, I don't go to the extent of saying that legal journalism by itself can achieve this, but that can definitely be instrumental in achieving this. So it can be a noble job you're doing as an intern, or as a professional. If you're doing this, and please do have the as the sense of responsibility that you are contributing to a legal system and the rule of law in a legal system. Now, as it is an internship program, let's have this dimension also, as perhaps as last part of our discussion, legal journalism as a career option. Of course, I can speak about not less than 25 career options after law or with law graduation, but this is one among them. It has got different dimensions nowadays. You can either work for a year, that's a possibility. You can have your own blog. You can work for a journal. You can work for an online, like you can work for a Westlaw. You can at least as a beginner in the area of law, uh, you will have some handsome, this is a relative term, and it depends. I would say that depends. I went through different sources to know. I spoke with some people. What's the kind of package that's being offered? That depends. That depends. But I would say something around 4 to 5 lakhs are being offered for a beginner, and it is more than that if you have got some experience in this area, and if you've got more than 10 years of experience, then you can definitely bargain also. So either it could be working with law reports and law journal, or it is in the legal desk. We would say desk. That's the terminology that is used in an ordinary media, in a legal desk of a media agency. This could be the nature of the profession, and these are the things you would be working on. I think I've already taken 30 minutes for this. We have already exhausted the time for this. So I would say you are all interns. Most of you are doing your internship here. I wish you all the very best for this, and that's it from my side on this. If you have anything to interact with, I think we have some time for that as well. Maybe some 5 minutes for that. I'm at your disposal to respond to your queries and questions, and even your contribution. I'll be enriched with your contribution. And I once again place on record the invitation extended to me and the opportunity given to me. It's always been a privilege to work with LGRF. Thank you so much.